Hi everyone, I am Laura and welcome to my channel. Today I just wanted to take a moment to talk about up-leveling in our lives. And yesterday I read a post and it was everything that we go through in life is meant to either take us to the next level or keep us in the same spot. Ultimately, the things that we go through are the same, and how we respond to what we go through is what dictates whether or not we level up or stay in the same place. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because it's so applicable in so many ways to each and every one of us. And as far as the brain goes, specifically ego, it's the part of the brain that is intended to keep us alive. It likes sameness. Sameness and patterns are comfort for our brain because it sends the signal that we are safe. We ultimately aren't being chased by bears anymore, so we are living in the safest time in history. However, with the increase of social media and the technology surrounding what gets people's attention, what triggers a reaction, and that being programmed into computers, phones, social media, all of that jazz, our fight or flight response is being triggered likely as much as it was in the back in the day when we were being chased by bears. And so I think sometimes people mistake discomfort and fear for a signal that you're not supposed to do something. And definitely, I think it's important to always listen to your gut. However, it is also important to really tune out the noise and truly ask yourself, is this something I want to do? And so what I mean by this, I'll just give you some examples of my own life. The first time I ever bought a house, my husband and I, well, we weren't married then, we were like 24, and mortgage brokers didn't really take us seriously back then. One was even like, you shouldn't be buying a house if you're not married. Like, this could be a huge issue for you guys, in a short period of time. So we switched mortgage brokers, obviously, because we felt like even if we didn't get married, which that wasn't the way we were foreseeing the future, or we would be staying together, but even if we didn't stay together, we felt like it was a sound investment. So we continued to search for the right mortgage broker for us, as well as looked at all of our options in terms of getting a mortgage, looked at many houses, kind of weighed the pros and cons of what it was that we wanted. And then ultimately when it came down to it, it was terrifying. And the reason it was so scary for my brain and my ego was because I hadn't done it before. And so this was not a pattern of behavior that made my ego feel comfortable. It was something new. So this was an opportunity for me to be scared, not do it, stay in the exact place I was, or do it scared and up level. And the irony is, a lot of people have said to me like, I'll wait until I feel peace about it. Sometimes you don't feel peace about it until it's done. And the universe, God, source, whatever it is that you want to call it, favors momentum, action. All of these things, while doing them, are scary. That's where the term take a leap of faith comes from. So, why am I talking about this today? Well, I think at any given moment, at any time during the day, many of us are faced with opportunities that either will keep us where we are based on how we respond to it, or will level us up to the next phase in this adventure we call life. So I just wanted to give a shout out to each and every one of you and say, sometimes you just have to do it scared. And most of the time you won't regret it. I was talking with my sister yesterday and we were just talking about failure. This is something that I've been talking a lot about, especially with my children. You know, failure gets a bad rap. Failure it almost doesn't really feel like a thing. I think as human beings, we are meant to experience a vast array of experiences in this life. And doing things and maybe not succeeding the first time doesn't mean that you failed. Ultimately, really, you only fail if you quit and you stop doing anything. With a knowing that you can pivot too. You don't have to continue pushing forward in one direction if you're getting the nudge to sort of pivot and go another direction. So failure, it feels like it's non-existent. I like to refer to it as learnings or failing forward. I think it's Bob Proctor. He once said, essentially an airplane fails its way to its destination. You know, it's all run by a computer now, and if it veers a little bit off course, it just corrects. Veers a little off course, it just corrects. So ultimately he was referring to the veering off course as failing and then correction as, you know, just realigning. So I invite each and every one of you to begin to contemplate the idea that failure isn't really a real thing. It's just learning. And I'm telling you, it can feel like a really big fail, but honestly, each and every time I have failed in this life, it has taught me so much. And so really they were just learnings. It doesn't feel like failure at all. It feels like I was being pushed in a certain direction because I had to learn something else before I could continue on that path. Or maybe I just wasn't meant to do that. And so I was, you know, I pivoted this way and went forward. So yes, I invite each and every one of you to get comfortable with discomfort, because these are the moments that really help you to break free from your old self and maybe even old patterns of behavior and propel yourself forward into your future self. Okay, I did want to tell you one other thing. I am a huge fan of visualization, and the reason I'm telling you about this is because our brains don't differentiate between something that is imagined and something that is done in real life. And there's been studies that have been done. One was simply like, I think it was at Stanford University, and they took a group of like 30 people, split them up, and they had them do free throw shots, and they kind of gauged their level. And then group A, for the next 4 weeks, was to spend 5 minutes a day visualizing doing those free throw shots. And then group B was to spend 5 minutes a day practicing those free throw shots. And at the end of it, each had a 20% improvement. And group A didn't actually physically practice. They practiced in their mind. So why I'm telling you this is, if there is something that you desire, something you are working towards, imagine it in your mind now as if it's already done. So if you can spend just 5 minutes a day visualizing, paying attention to what it is that you would feel if you were where you wanted to be. So say, for example, you want to be in a new home. Imagining yourself in that new home, maybe even smelling the coffee in the morning if you like coffee. Maybe you have a deck and you're walking out on that deck and you're just enjoying the sunshine hitting you there. Experience these things in your mind. And when you do this and you're presented with those challenges that feel a little bit scary, it's less scary because your mind has already been there. So it thinks it's done. So this is, in fact, a pattern, and you don't feel that scared. So it doesn't necessarily trigger your fight or flight response. So visualization, if it's something you've never done before, start now. I think that it is such a powerful practice. If it's something that it seems almost impossible for you because your mind is kind of going everywhere, start with meditation. But if you can start with visualization, or maybe you meditate already, do it. Envision yourself where it is that you want to be 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 10 years from now, whatever it is, and just imagine it and watch how beautifully your life unfolds. So I'm gonna say this. Sometimes in life, we feel like we're in the middle of a breakdown. The truth is, however you respond to whatever has happened or whatever circumstances in your life, know that it's most likely a breakthrough, and you're about to level up in ways you maybe didn't even know were possible. So that's it for today. If you have had a breakthrough that ultimately was originally sort of disguised as a breakdown, please feel, and if you feel comfortable, obviously, if you feel comfortable sharing, share in the comments. I'll go through and share a couple of my breakthrough moments in life with you guys in the comments. And if there's something that you are manifesting in your life, or already visualizing, or are going to start visualizing, feel free to put it in the comments, and I will be sure to hold the vision for you as well, because there's nothing more magical than more people sharing in your vision with you. I think that it helps it happen a little faster. So have a lovely day, and yeah, if you guys ever have any questions or want me to make any specific videos about any specific thing, please share it in the comments. Now that I'm saying that, I think that I will likely make a guided visualization video for you guys shortly, so stay tuned for that. Okay, bye.